What's going on, guys? So it will never be a perfect, so let's keep making progress. And then welcome back to CSS Learning. My name is Taser. So last week we have learned, so as you can see on my screen, so how to add the CSS into your HTML. So we show you like a 3-way to edit, but we're gonna use it like an external linking, so that will be linked as an external file. And also we learn like a basic HTML selector, the CSS selector. So that will be like a element selector, and then start with the hash, and then that will be like a hashtag, and then ID selector, and start with the class. That will be dot, and then class selector. So and also combine it. That will be like a group selector with the comma, and the pseudo class selector, and the attribute selector. So that's what we have learned last week. And also at the top, we talk about like an asterisk, so that will be generic selector that you can select everything in your page, so that's why we are seeing all the pages in purple. So now in this week I have prepared the lesson content, so that will be attribute selector, pseudo class selector, and pseudo element selector. I want to continue that one because we need to know, so that we cover like a more common use topic, so and also the combination, and the like a specificity, and also the we can say combinator, parent, child, descendant selector. So that's we need to learn. And I included like a little bit like syntax, so that we have like a CSS code we can refer it to. So if that's a right tutorial, so we can continue. And also please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also turn on notification. So to get started with the attribute, like the selector. So sometimes we will need to like very detailed selection to style it. Let's say I have this purple and everywhere, but this blue is like it's a default. I don't want a blue color, so I want to remove it. So to do that, we need to know the attribute selector. So that will be in our HTML. So we build it like in our like a type equal to checkbox, and also we have this type equal to radio. And so that will be in our CSS. So I will add one attribute selector here. So that will start with the square bracket, and you can type it type equal to like a double quote, and then also you can say like a radio button. So that will be radio. And also if you wanted one more attribute, add comma, and also just type it like a square bracket and add it. So that will be type equal to, I'm going to add it like a checkbox. So to do it, that will be checkbox. And now we can start with our selector. So CSS property will be to change the color, so not the text, all the like this box and all the radio, so that will be accent. So color. So because the color will change to text, if you say accent, that will change the box that we went. So that will be like color will be, what if we say a little bit green, and then I want it like even if we can put it like a purple, so that will be, what if we just leave it like a purple the way it is. So if I save it, now you're gonna see all the selection is like change to purple. So if you have like a branding guide, like style guide, you want to make it, so that's what we need to know. And also the other thing will be table, like the selection, and so that we need to know the pseudo selector. So what if I want to make it the same pattern, like yellow background for my After Effects row, and then HTML table row, So to do that, I want to repeat it. So go to your like last week we have learned this first child, the like a pseudo class selector. So to do that, I will type it like a end child, and also inside the parentheses we can edit like even, or we can edit odd. So if I say odd, once I save it, I don't have to write like a 3 code, now it's automatically added background color for our After Effects and HTML Learning. So if you have like a 30-40 table rows, so that will apply automatically. So that's what we need to know too. So, and also I want to show you the element. So pseudo element will be useful. So what if we want to do that? In my page, I want to remove all the default underline in my A tag, and also I want to edit my customized underline for it. So to do that, to remove the text, so I will remove it here, A tag. So I'm going to remove it. So text decoration, so that will be CSS property. We say none. So once you save it, so all the underlined text will be removed in your A tag. So all these property, we're gonna learn it slowly. We will build it, so that will take time, but we're gonna practice it. So now text decoration none, you type it that way. And also the other thing will be, we are adding one more our customized underline. So to do that, now we need to know the pseudo element selector. So the element selector will be, we want to edit in a element, but pseudo element will be double column. I mean, if you type it double column, it will appear all the pseudo element available. So I want it underlined, so that will be after. And now I'm going to start adding my CSS property. So start with the content, and then if you say content and then double quote, so you can type it like a hello if you want to see the text in your page. But if you do not want it, for us we don't want it, so we just want a color. So we're gonna leave it blank, and now we're gonna add it like a background color. So background color will be, I mean that will be, it's the same green. So I'm gonna want it like this little bit green, match to the purple, and also I want it like a width. So width will be 100 pixel, so, and the height will be, I think I will type it like height will be 3 pixels. So if you save it, I mean right now you're not seeing anything, you know, because in CSS we need to say display, I mean so that it will appear in your browser or in your page. So to do that, display block. So now once you save it, now you're gonna see your underline. I mean, so that's all the properties that we need to learn. I think we will have different topics to talk about it. So now you can see that all the underline are customized. So that will be more like, I mean, like, so what we want, I mean, if you're really building your theme, you know. So that's how pseudo element can help it. So, and also what if I want to like remove it only, I want to see the underline when I mouse hover to the link. So to do that, I can simply add in my A, the pseudo element. What I can add is one more column that will be class pseudo selector, and also just type it hover. So once you add one selector just like that, now if I mouse hover it, I'm going to see the underline. So if not, it will disappear. So now more interesting effects that if I hover it, YouTube, and then part 1, so now we're going to see the effects. I mean, that's more interesting. So download. So that's pseudo element is helping, and then I want to talk about it. Okay, so the other thing will be, I mean, like the specificity, or that will be like, I think I will talk about the combination. I mean, like, so combinator or combination, or even we can say like a parent, child, descendant, selector, you know. So we have a few like combinator that we need to learn. So even in my summary, I've included. So I will start with the element combination. I mean, so that, I mean, we will continue to specificity. So that will be, let's say in your HTML, I mean, so let's say if you want to like select and then make some styling or coloring. So let's say I have this A tag here. So part 1, YouTube, and then part 2. So I want to style it, this A tag in my like, I mean like the CSS, you know. So in combination, what we can do is that if you say like, I mean like, so we have learned that a tag, if I type it A tag, so it's gonna like, let's say I put it like color, it's gonna like change it in everywhere. I mean, so if I say like a color, let's say I'm gonna say it to green. So it is not like a combination. I mean, like, it's gonna like look every A tag in this, the whole document, and it will change it. So, but for us, we do not want it. I mean, like, we want it like I mean, like a little bit like a combination that we can do the specification, you know. So that, I mean, like, now we need to know the combination. So to do that, so I need the A tag, but I have this like a parent that I can like specify. I mean, so that will be, I will have a li will be my parent, and also ul will be parent to li, and also nav will be ul. So it's mean like I mean, like combination will look for this whole like a descendant like the combination, and if it matches, and it's gonna apply the CSS rule. So I will start typing the start with the now, instead of the only A, I'm gonna type it like so I will remove the A, and now NAV, and then like I said, UL and LI and then A. So if you look it back, so our parent is NAV, UL, LI and A. So whenever this combination is matched, I want to apply my text color to green. So now if I save it, so whenever it matches, so it will apply green. Now it matches because we have a nav here, because if you look back in my header, I have a nav, UL, LI, A. So this element combination, so now it's applying to green. And then actually this is A2, but it does not apply because there's no nav or UL, because if you look it back in my article, so if you scroll it down in part 1, so all this download link, it is not in UL, it's in the DD, so it does not a match with my combination. So there's something that we need to know too. And also at the bottom, so it all matches, because at the bottom we use it like a combination, like a same NAV here. So because NAV, UL, LI, A, it all matches. So that's what we call element combination. So that's one thing we need to know. And the other combination will be, or maybe somebody said it like a combinator. So it's the same thing, guys. Like a parent, child, descendant, selector, it's all the same. So the other thing is class and element combination. So here you can see the dot box and P, or maybe UL dot class. You can flip it. So class, start with class or start with element. It's the same thing. I will show you one example. So let's say I want to what if in the P, so I want to make it it has a start with the class. I'm going to add it in a header. So what I'm going to add is an in header, class attribute. Then I'm going to name it this is learning purpose, so that will be green text. So if I say I like a green text, so I added one a class in my header. And also if I save it, and also I will go back to my styling, and then like I said, after the element combination, I'm going to edit. I will start with for class we start with the period or dot. So and also green text. So if it has to be the same name, so that will be green text. And also like I said, I want to combine it to the element. So now in the green text, it is wrapping PH1. So whenever I see it's the same match, I want to change the color. Let's say I want to select to the P. So now I'm going to type it dot green text, and then P. I want to change this to green text. So now I'm going to change it a color. Then I'm going to change it to, and then green. If I save it that way. Now once you save it, now it matches, because at the top you see that. So there's a green text in my class header, it matches, there's a P. So now that's why at the top this text is changing to green color. But the rest of the text, there's a P in my article, it does not change because it does not match, because I do not have a class in my article. So unless if you edit, so let's say I add one class in the header here, and then I'm going to say same class. So that will be, what if I edit the same name? So that will be green text. If I save it, so if I once I edit, now you can see that before it's not green, it's a blue. Now it changed that to green color. So the bottom one I haven't added yet, so that's what remain with the pop-up, because the asterisk is ruin everything. So what if we remove the asterisk, so I will comment it out. So control / and then now it will remain as a red color for now. But because of the last week we learned the hash element, so the ID element selector, so that's how it will remain. So the rest, whenever it matches with the a class and then P a combination, it's going to change to green. So that will be one combination we need to know. So that will be at the bottom, so green and then text P. So that will be class and the element combination. And the other thing will be, I think we have this like a greater than sign and then the descendant like a combination, you know. So to do that, it will apply to any like a class or anything, you know. It's the same method. So I want to show you a little bit. I mean, what if we like so we have this, like the article part 1 and part 2. So I want it like a watch video, listen audio, and download video text to green, because now we have a little bit green theme is happening here. So to do that, I need to know that a descendant like a greater than sign combination. I can use it. So to use it, I have to know that this like a greater than sign, that if you select it DL greater than sign and DD, so that's gonna apply it. So to do that, I'll go back to my this style, and then gonna edit in my CSS. Like I said, I want to start with the DL because all these are combination. I start with the parent, or you're wrapping the main element, you know. So DL is wrapping to DD, so I will start with DL. That will be my parent, and also direct descendant, so that will apply to all DD. So now if you type it that way, so whatever like included in my DD, because the DD opening and closing tag is wrapping my DD here. The DL is wrapping all the DD here, watch video, and also DL here is wrapping DD. So once I save it like a DL and DD here, if I add one, so it's an example, like that will be color equal to green. So once I save it, now you're gonna see that all the descendant that the combination match will apply to green color. So now you see the DL greater than sign DD is like a changing, that will be here. But the bottom, so it still matches. So that I will discuss it. That will be later I'm gonna discuss about it. So it also matches. It's more specified. So that's why so the watch video here also is changed. Before it's red color. So and also the rest will not change. Because there's no more like a DL direct change to DD. So whenever it matches that combination, it's gonna apply to our CSS rule. So that will be one more combinations, guys. Okay, now back to my topic. So now it's specificity, and specificity, you know. So it's a little bit here, you can see the spelling. So I want to talk about it that too. Before that, I want to bring up the whenever we talk about the HTML like a document, it's include the DOM tree structure, you know, like you see on my screen. So it's start with the HTML node at the top, and then we can break it down to head element node, body node, and then it will descend it to the bottom. So so specificity is the same as a combination, related to combination. If you want to select it, let's say here, this green text, the node here, you know, so that will be, if you do not know how to specify, so that will be trouble. So we need to structure our document node or document element, the HTML element, so with the proper structure, you know, using the proper ID, using the proper class name, and also using the proper CSS semantic element. So that's so we have a different level that we need to specify, and then also we're gonna learn it. So that will be one thing you have to know. If you're looking for the, let's say, P element in my article, and then you just type it you're looking for P element in my header article, but you're styling in the footer P, so that will never apply. So that's why we need to make a specificity, and also getting the right element to be selected. So I want to bring up my a little bit explanation. I think it will be a little bit relevant to explain it more better. So I want to show you guys. Let's say in this map, the whole map is let's say you have this world map, and then you type one name in your so you want to look for it. Let's say I type in my name. So So in this map, I want to search for this name. I mean, let's say my name Taser, you know. So Taser will be in Myanmar, could be in the Thailand, China, could be in the India, or could be in the Europe or Africa or wherever. I mean, like, so you are not specifying. I mean, like, it will be really, really tough to get and to find it. But now what if I edit like United States? So if I narrow it down to, I mean, like, so United States, so that will be a little bit much more easier compared to the whole map. So now we can move to United States, and then now we got it like a little bit specifying our searching. So that will be United States. Even in the United States, I mean, we can narrow it down. What if I say in the Virginia? So I'm going to type it now, zooming into Virginia, and then now I'm going to say like okay, he's in the Virginia. What if I say like Virginia? And then now you have narrowed down. But even in Virginia, I mean, like, we have a different cities. So if I want to make it more specific, I mean, like, so that will be, I can say like Fredericksburg. So that will be Fredericksburg, and then I can say it that way. So it's a very similar to, I mean, CSS, you know, you can edit like all the address, house number, that will be more specified. Let's say even what if I edit like a street number, and also the, I mean, like the house number. So that will be, let's say, room number 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna be much more specified, and then it will be more easier to find it, to search it. So it's the same thing in the CSS. I mean, like, if I bring it back, I mean, let's say go back to the whole document, and then let me bring up my like I mean, it's a very similar. So the whole document has a, what if you're saying like if you say that, oh, I want it like selected my P, so you just say like a P element. Just now I show you, but P is everywhere in this the whole document. You will never get it. I mean, like, so that will be tough to find it. I mean, you have to know where is a P, and then you need to specify. So that's now we have to like I mean, like, so now I mean, like, we need to know what is a specificity. I mean, like, so that we can, I mean, make the right selection, and then make the right, I mean, like the styling, you know. So now I say like okay, P in my like article. So now it's more specified. So that will be article, and also P in my article, and also even in article we have a lot of P. So what if I say in article in header? So now I have more specified, so that will be header, and then now we have narrowed down. I mean, like, so that's like a concept that the specification, you know. So how we're gonna like look for the element that we need to style it. So I mean, like, so that will be the next topic we'll bring up. So the specification, or I mean, like, so the calculation for our higher score. I mean, like, so how we gonna narrow it down? I mean, like, so we have the knowledge that we can use a element combination to select it. We have a class to select it. We have the like ID to select it. So now we have this like I mean, like the web technology. So if we've been learning, you know, so from the Google CSS Learn or Mozilla CSS Learning. So if you look for it, we're gonna have this specificity calculator. I mean, like, so it always start with the ID and also class and the element. So there's a priority. Let's say if you break it down at the bottom, we have it. So you have like an ID. So 100, that will be 100, and then it will be highest. So if you have a class, so that will be no ID, 043. That will be a little bit like a least like important, or maybe least you have I mean, not much like compares to ID weight, you know. It will be, you have this, I mean, like, if you like make it scale it on the weight, so that will be a little bit, ID will be highest score, and if you combine it with the class and element, it will be middle score. But if you do not have it class and ID, that will be like you will be running like a 1, or I mean, that will be really least. I mean, whatever you say here will be 0, B0, C0. That's gonna be a little bit least specification. So now that's why now in HTML we need to build it. I mean, like, so let's say, so back to my styling. I mean, guys, I mean, like, so it's a time perspective. I want to make it a little bit I mean, squeeze to our tutorial, you know. So like I said, I mean, like, so specificity calculation, so even pronunciation is tough. So we will start with the ID, comma, and class and comma, and then we will have an element. So now we can think about it. I mean, like, so which, I mean, like, how we gonna structure our like HTML. And also we have to bear in mind that the other thing will be our DOM structure. I mean, like, you have this like the level that, I mean, like the I mean, like the pseudo, you know, so that will be like I mean, hierarchy, that you start with the body hierarchy, and then I mean you have a main that will be descendant to body, and you have a section that will be like I mean, child to the main. So whenever we say like even the score that we like make it, I mean, let's say the ID is higher score. I mean, let's say I said it like I have a ID, and then in my, let's say, what if I say the ID in my A tag here? So you see my cursor. So that will be like if in hierarchy structure, I mean, it will be way more beyond. I mean, like, so the A is if we say like in this level A, and then if you're looking for, sorry, like I mean, what if we're gonna say like better to be like I mean, what if I have a ID in my URL here? So that will be hierarchy structure. If you look it back, if you went to, I mean, like applying your style in this text, so that will be, this text is included in the P, and then if you see the hierarchy or descendant, so LI and UL. But you are adding the ID in UL, and then if you're adding like I mean, like I said, I mean, class or CSS style itself in the element. So even if you have an ID in UL, it will not have a higher score. So what I mean is, I mean, like, let's say the level is different. I mean, like, so you can see that there's a one level, there's another level hierarchy. So even it will always start with the element or content itself. I mean, like, it will never get back to the like I mean, like the content, you know. So that's more important too. I mean, like, if you might think that, hey, I have this ID, I have a higher score, why is not applying? So for instance, so I want to show you one thing. So that will be, let's say, I mean, like, so we will go back to my, okay, what if you have this like a hashtag, I mean, like green. Now is a very good example. I mean, like, so you can see that in the part 2 tutorial, I have a red paragraph, and then watch video is a green. So I will bring it down to the part 2 here. So that will be part 2 article, and then so now you can see that, I mean, so that will be part 2 in here. So where is it? So that will be, yeah, here, part 2 tutorial. So I have a ID attribute in my article, but I mean, like, it's applied to like a P in this header, you know, but it does not apply to all this like a DD, and I mean, like, so watch video is does not apply. Even if you do not use it DD, if you use it like even if you use it P, I mean, like, so I mean, so what I mean is that if I use it like a P, so if I type it P, if I save it, so now it's applying that. So other like element is not like applying. I mean, like, even if you might think that, hey, I have like a wrapping as a parent, like a ID element in my whole like article, but why it does not apply to watch video? I mean, so because that's why, I mean, like, so like I said, I mean, the level is not like I mean, like in the like I mean, more specified. I mean, like, so now that we have to think about it, I mean, like, so you're saying way too much hierarchy, and you have this DD or DL is, I mean, controlling. So that's why I go back to my CSS style. I mean, like, now we have this like I mean, so we have a class and everything. So we did it like a DL direct trying to DD will applying to green. This is more specific. I mean, like, if you look it back, like I said, I mean, articles are way more hierarchy up higher, but DD will be a little bit bottom. So that's why, I mean, like, so we are not like even I apply my hashtag part 2, you can see that this hashtag part 2, I mean, like, red color is not like overtaking. I mean, it's losing the weight, or it's losing the importance, or the like I mean, like the like I mean, like the color styling, you know. So it's for more specificity score. I mean, like, so that's one thing to know as well. I mean, like, so it has to be the level. I mean, let's say if you have this, I mean, now you can see that this red color is part 2 ID here. But if I mean, like, the same level, if I edit with the class and other element, so that will not compares to the, you will lose to ID, the score, So what if I edit the example, so class name, so that class attribute is the same thing. I'm going to edit part 2 is the same name, let's say, and then part 2 and then C, so that will be class, no, for instance. So it's the same hierarchy, like I said. You have to know that the hierarchy too. You cannot go to the bottom and then you're looking ID at the top, so it will not have a higher score. So it's also, but same level, we have this article level, we have an ID, and we have a class. So let's say I've saved it and then go back to your style, and then I will compete it with my ID. So I want to show you so that when the styling come, so all the styling in the one sheet, and then you're gonna conflicts and then frustration, so that will be better to know. So that will be start, like I said, part 2, and then that will be 2C. We give it that class name. And then what if I give it I want to keep it like a different green, so that will be color, so that will be green if I save it. But now, so same level, same hierarchy, we added a part dash 2C as a green, and then ID part 2 as a red. So now you see that this, even we added in my CSS, for cascade, so even if we put it up and down, so whatever you put it down, so it remains as a red, it does not change to green. Only, if you remove the ID from your CSS, if I remove it, the ID CSS rule, if I save it, now it's gonna change to green. So that is so the hierarchy, and then the specificity calculation is how we gonna calculate it. So that will be ID will be always higher score if we have a same level, and then class will be second highest score, and then element will be the least score, So if you put it that way, so that will be here just like that. So that will be, if you have it a no class, no element, that will be 100. If you have a 0 ID, if you have so that will be a 1 class, and if you don't have 0 element, that will be 10. So that's kind of the a specificity calculation. But like I said, one thing to know, it's the hierarchy, and then the node, the DOM structure, without knowing that, just now I show you the example that you are way too much higher and adding your ID, and you're expecting everything to change, but it will not change. So it will always start with the element itself. So just now I show you DD and the DL, the element itself is we specify, so that will be color green. ID cannot compete it, but in the same level, let's say, so what if, for instance, so watch video, so let's say same level, same DD, but what if I add higher score? Let's say if I add it in this let's say part 1, the part 2, so part 2, I'm going to edit in this DD, I'm going to edit 1 class here, so that will be if same class level, so what if I set it 1 class, that will be class attribute, so I say DD, and then dash class, and then dash, that will be, what did we say, red, so that will be my class name. So I'm going to save it, copy it, like you see. So that is in the part 2 tutorial here. So that will be this listen audio. We want to change it to red. So go to your, once you save it, and then go back to your styling. So that will under the DD, we're going to edit 1 class, so same. So paste it, start with the dot, and then we're going to edit 1 curly brace, and then now I'm going to type it I want it red, so that will be color equal to red, so that I'm going to save it now you can see that. So the class is now this time, same hierarchy, same level, but if you edit class, so that is more specific, and also the the back to the specifics, the calculation, if it is the same level, it's gonna always have a higher score. So that is how we calculate things, guys. So, and also like I said, if you edit a same level DD here, so watch video, if I edit a ID, and also I'm gonna edit let's say that will be just now we say DDC red, so that will be DD dash ID, so that will be, what if we say like so the different things will be blue, so that we can see, sorry, that will be blue. If I save it, and then that ID I'm going to edit, copy, and then if I'm going to save it like so that will be, if I put it, so I think that will be the same here, so it will be here. If I start with the hashtag, so same hierarchy, so if I start with hashtag and then I'm going to edit, plus that will be color blue. So definitely we're going to see the blue. If I save it, back to your styling, now we're going to see the blue. So that's so whenever we compete in the same hierarchy, ID will have always first priority and higher score and heavy, and so that will be more priority or importance, so that will be how we calculate specificity. So that's what I want to talk about it. And also the other thing will be importance. So important is something that we are competing in the same hierarchy. So like I said, we will always start with the down tree structure. We are competing sometimes. So you need it like a very quick, very fast. So the debugging, or you want to make it a little bit changes without so thinking too much. So you want it like I change it right away, and then you want to put it. So that time comes, you need to make it. So even like I said, so in the hierarchy, I put it like listen audio watch is so class and ID I put it, but let's say I want to keep it green. So very important that this listen audio watch video, I want to put it like that's important. So I want to keep it like a green. So to do that for now what we're gonna do is now I can do it like in the DL and DD. If I edit, go back to here, and then what if I set it like a semicolon and then important. If I save it, now you're gonna see that same hierarchy, same level. So now, so the important, so that is so what if we say like people even say like a nuclear bomb, so we have every different control, but hey, it's very urgent. Now we need to make it green, and then now you're gonna put it like this important, like a CSS rule that you want to overtake it. So that is so important will be, it will not be very useful, and also it's not recommended because it will ruin your like a CSS learning and all these things as a beginner. So that's only for learning purpose. So now, so we need to know what is the right specificity, so that we will structure in our element. So it will always start with the HTML, and then so that we will have a better styling, and then without using much like a complicated CSS like important and then all the DD ID class. That will be like not much efficient, So thank you guys. I think that will be today's tutorials. I think we cover everything. I hope you like the tutorial. If you learn something, if you like the video, please make sure to subscribe Creative Learner, and also turn on notification, and please like it, share it, and I hope to see you in next tutorial.